Hi guys, welcome to Dreame Writing Academy. I am Heather Griffin, the tutor of Dreame Writing courses. I hope you got an inspiring writing idea from Topic 1. And today, let's start Topic 2, How to Design Characters. Some of you might have read the chapter called How to Design Characters in Dreame Writing Guides. This topic is adapted from that, and you are welcome to continue your learning on Dreame Writing Guides after this course. Okay, let's get started on our course today. I will talk about this topic from the following aspects. When talking about writing, we couldn't emphasize any more about the importance of character design. A good story needs good characters. Although a good plot is required to keep a reader flipping the pages, it is ultimately the characters that the readers fall in love with that keep them reading. The more attractive your characters are, the more popular your story will be. Before introducing more about this topic, I would like to learn what tips and confusions you might have about character design. Okay, now we know that character design is something enjoyable and painful. It is a creative activity that requires talent, but there are still some ways for us to learn. Let's take a look at the mystery of character design. 1. The 3 dimensions about character design. As a writer, you know that every character is an individual. According to The Art of Dramatic Writing by Lajos Egres, though, if we vivisect them and try to find out just what elements go into them, we will see 3 common dimensions: physiology, sociology, and psychology. With knowledge of these 3 dimensions, we can create an engaging character. We will list some elements below with properties that should be considered when developing a character. Of course, there are many other properties not listed. The more traits you give your character, the more lifelike he or she will be. Some of the ways that you can reveal these traits are by describing them outright. Specific traits can also be explained by the character's thoughts and actions, and through the observations of other characters. 1.1. Physiology. What should be considered about physiology is sex and age, figure, their height and weight, the color of their hair, eyes, skin, their posture and habitual actions, their appearance in terms of makeup, hairstyle, facial shape, forehead, eyes, nose, mouth, cheeks, their chin, muscles, and breast size, their clothing, dressing style, accessories, lean, tidy, or messy and unkept, their defects, deformities, abnormalities, birthmarks, or possible disease, and heredity. Sociology. What should be considered about sociology is class. Are they lower, middle, or upper class? Occupation. The type of work they do, hours of work, their income, condition of employment, union or non-union, attitude towards organization, suitability for employment. Their education. Level of education, kinds of schools, their marks, their favorite subjects, aptitudes. Home life. Parents living, earning power. Are they orphans? Parents separated or divorced. Their parents' habits. Parents' mental development. Parents' vices. Were they neglected? The character's marital status. Religion. Race and nationality. Their place in the community. Are they a leader among their friends, clubs, or sports? Political affiliations. Amusements and hobbies. Do they like books? What sports? And their social circle. 1.3. Psychology. What should be considered about psychology is sex life, moral standards, personal premise and ambition, frustrations, chief disappointments, their temperament, choleric, easygoing, pessimistic, or optimistic, their attitude toward life and other people, any complexes, obsessions, inhibitions, superstitions, or phobias, Their abilities, what languages do they speak, what talents do they have? The qualities about them, imagination, judgment, their taste, their poise, their IQ. Okay, with all of those tips, you might wonder how to apply those in your writing. Let's move on to the next part. 2. How to create a character by using those 3 dimensions. When creating a character, you do not need to write everything down from the get-go, but as the book progresses, it is good to be mindful of who they are within the context of the 3 dimensions outlined above. Your character should have a full life in your mind before you can put him or her into a situation. Otherwise, you will not know how they will react or how other people will react to them. 2.1. A person's physiological factors, social background, and personality should be mutually consistent. These 3 dimensions are not independent. Instead, they should be so intertwined that no single element could be extracted. Take a look at an arrogant millionaire as an example. He likely lives a luxurious life, so there might be many models, actresses, and gold diggers in his social circle. This could lead to the millionaire losing respect for women. If his parents are divorced, and he has a ruthless father and a mercenary brother, let's say, he might have a low regard for the family unit and have no desire to have one of his own. With this in mind, when he meets the female lead, it should come as no surprise if he mistreats her. 2.2. Small details about your character's personality can make them more likable. Habitual behavior, foibles, or pet phrases can serve to endear a character to readers. These small details can also reinforce the reader's impression of a character. For example, again, take that arrogant millionaire with cleanliness issues. He might hate to be touched by women. Every time after shaking hands with a woman or kissing them, he might wipe his hands and lips with a handkerchief. With a character like this, there might be room for growth. If the millionaire meets the right girl, eventually, he may no longer need his OCD behavior. 3. Do not ignore supporting roles. Supporting roles not only drive the storyline, but they also win over readers in their own way. In addition to considering these 3 dimensions above, there are 2 more points to consider when designing supporting characters. 3.1. What is the distinguishing feature of this supporting role? Supporting characters do not feature as prominently as main characters do, so the writer is forced to develop them with a limited number of words. As an example of how this can be done effectively, in the book His Purchased Wife, Emily's sister, Tia, is a one-night-stand type girl, so her behavior and language are dissolute and bear the stamp of a playgirl. 3.2. What is the relationship between the supporting actor and the leading roles? There are 2 types of relationships. Unity relations. Kind elders, they give the leading characters the warmth of a family. 2. The mentor, offers help when the prominent roles are in trouble. And 3. Friends, childhood friends, friends through thick and thin, childhood sweethearts. For example, in the book His Purchased Wife, Liam's grandma is a typical kind elder. She always cares about Liam and shows her love to her grandson. In one passage, Liam describes a scene with his grandma. "Liam, my grandma lovingly calls me and engulfs me in her warm hug. This is my home. This hug is my home. I missed my son so much. I didn't know she was crying until now. My grandma is so emotional, and especially about me." And in the book, His Mate and His Mistress, Cade is an important friend to Dimitri, and he says, "He taught me some strategies and skills when it came to combat, and together we learned and trained. We gained each other's trust, and we became best friends." Hostility relations. 1. Antagonist, the main character's worst enemy. 2. Betrayer, the one who is betraying the protagonist and getting the protagonist into trouble. And 3. The clown, a comic character who causes problems for the leading roles. An example of this can be seen in the famous novel Harry Potter by J.K. Rowling. In the book, Peter Pettigrew betrays the Potters, and Voldemort is the antagonist, the most powerful enemy that Harry will face. The Dursleys are certainly clowns. They mistreated Harry, but they were punished, and the punishment they received was dramatic and hilarious. Well, after sharing those tips, now we know that designing characters should be fun and exciting. Through each character, a writer can express a part of themselves and then take that part of themselves on a wonderful journey. There are some general tricks to the trade, but every writer has his or her own creative methods that come into play, making every story unique. Whatever a writer does, they should remember to keep the design process logical and think of the characters as real people. Give this a try. On this topic, let's design an unforgettable character. He or she could be a main character or a supporting role, a positive or a negative character. Try to use tips we talked about today, and share it in the comments section to get your writing points. Here are the notes for you. I hope you enjoy this course. Thank you.